Hi, Tom Coley, coach for Buckeye Cable and BCSN, and welcome into another edition of Sports Flash. It's not just another edition of Sports Flash. Great opportunity for me to interview one of my great friends from St. John's Jesuit, Dr. Carl Demarkowski, Hall of Famer, I may add, at St. John's Jesuit. Doc, thanks so much for being with us today. And, you know, this is a reunion of 50 years of great basketball. You were a great football coach at St. John's Jesuit and a great teacher of English. But you did something else that some people might not know, right? You kept the book in basketball, which is not easy to do, by the way.
Well, that's how Coach Heinzel, I think, got 600 of his wins. You know? I think that was part of it.
Nobody ever fouled out of an SJ.
Absolutely not. No, he's still in there.
But, Doc, you kept the book, which is really tough to do, and you did it for all these years. So you had a literally and figuratively front row seat to some of the greatest high school basketball that you'll ever see. I'm going to ask you an impossible question, but if you can think back on some players, some individual guys that you watched play that just are forever kind of emblazoned in your mind and what they did or how they did it, who would those guys be, Doc?
Oh, my goodness. Mr. Cole, you are asking me way too many questions here. You realize I'm an old man. I'm 70 years old now.
You're young.
Well, I can go with a couple right off the top of go. B.J. Raymond, who, in fact, I helped recruit to Xavier University.
Who had a great career at Xavier.
Absolutely. Brian Roberts, who, in fact, went to Dayton, even though he wanted to come to Xavier. Coach Sean Miller.
And Brian, an NBA guy, got in the NBA.
In the NBA. Brian Roberts, in fact, wanted to come to Xavier. I told Coach Sean Miller that. He wouldn't recruit him. He apologized to me 3 times for not having recruited the man. I go way further back to Don Muhort, Jay Larinaga. Who can I say that I don't want to leave anybody out?
Right.
But
Sean Coleman.
The list goes onward. And a lot of the guys who never did play beyond, but were just super athletes, super kids.
Doc, was there a game in particular that you remember that you would say, hey, St. John's St. John's Jesuit was down and out of this game and they did something and made a run that was incredible to you? Or was there an atmosphere that really struck you in a particular? Because I know there were many great games, but is there one that jumps out at you if I ask you that?
Well, you asked me a question that I have no answer to, just as I have no answer to any of the football games that we coached together.
Right.
And I can't remember one that stood out. I can only remember, as I told you before, Rob Chudzinski playing split end for us.
Right.
And, in fact, Trips Ray, Chuds the Carp. What the heck is that?
That was the call.
And you never told me what the heck was going on. And to this day, I still don't.
Well, I will explain to you now. The carp, goes along the bottom of the river, right?
Yeah.
So Chud's job on that was to drag across the bottom of the line of scrimmage, and that's why he was called the carp. So that was it.
Well, that was nice of you to tell me that, though. I mean,
Doc, St. John's Jesuit basketball, Ed certainly, John Brower started it. I was in those classes and got it off the ground and did a good job with that. Tim Smith came in and did a remarkable job putting in a system that was very effective, and it worked. And then Ed Heinzel comes in, and you had to be totally impressed with the metamorphosis of what Coach Heinzel did, because he took it to a completely different level.
Oh, exactly. I came in pretty much at the same time that Coach Heinzel did. So I knew him very well, and we've remained close friends till today. And he, if I'm not mistaken, has it been 42 years he's been here?
You're getting close.
And from what I understand, the winningest coach in the state of Ohio at one school.
Yes. 37 years.
And just a class individual.
Yeah.
And what more can you say about the man? He's just a great guy.
Doc, it's been 50 years of basketball at St. John's Jesuit, but what is actually even more interesting to me is you taught many of these youngsters in the classroom, and you never, ever gave anybody a break because they were an athlete. You thought, and rightly so, that it was important for them to understand that the academics came first. For the most part, they're not going to play in the NFL. They're not going to play in the NBA. That's a 1%, 3% kind of deal. And you're going to need your degree. You're going to need your education. And as much as you loved athletics, you were such a stalwart in the classroom. I really admired that approach.
Well, as a matter of fact, my 4 daughters got me to go on Facebook. In the first place, I always had a flip phone. I never wanted that iPhone. What do I need that for?
Right.
You need it, Dad. You need it.
Right.
Now I'm on there, and I'm getting all these guys from the past who are getting on there with me and telling me, you know, Doc, you gave me so many doggone demerits and so many doggone things that I didn't know what the heck was going on, but now I really want to thank you for that.
Right.
And that, that to me is so rewarding. And as you've experienced the same thing. You get to know so many people over the years, and it's just great. I love coming back here every year to see these guys for the alumni outings and see what they're doing. A class guy, I'm sure you know him, Mark Swinkowski.
Yes.
For crying out loud, he's the military attaché to China.
Yes.
He's a full bird colonel in the Air Force. What a great guy.
But you were instrumental in his development and in his fundamental years. And Doc, on behalf of Buckeye Cable and BCSN, St. John's Jesuit Hall of Famer, academician, top shelf, congratulations on an incredible career and making a difference with young people every day.
My only comment, Tango Charlie, is when do I get to come on and tell some real stories about you?
That'll be a show. We'll run real late at night, Doc.
Okay.
Dr. Demar, thanks. Tom Cole for Buckeye Cable and BCSN.